Hi, this is Karen. Welcome to another dolallycrafts Flips and Folds on Sunday. This is the card we're making today. It's a really simple card to make. I don't know whether you can tell, but I absolutely saturated that butterfly with Winker Stella and it looks gorgeous. Even though it's not the colour palette for the Delightful Daisy pack, I thought the Grapefruit Grove went really well with this. I wanted something lighter than the Calypso Coral, and I think that the Grapefruit Grove goes really well with this. So you open it up like that, and there's the rest of the card. Very easy to make. You can make it with A4, however I'm making it with 12 by 12. I will put the measurements for the for the A4 paper as well on my blog when I'm putting this together, if I remember. If it's not on my blog, make a comment below and I'll go and add it. Okay, I'll pop the card at the side there just so that I can see it. I've got to be careful because I've actually got a wet one here as well, a baby nappy wipe, so that I can clean off my stamps as I go. I don't have the Stampin' Up! Chamois yet. That's my next purchase. Okay, we have a piece of 12 by 12 which has been cut down to 5.5 by 12. As I said before, as usual, all of the measurements and everything can be found on my blog. Now this is a really easy card to make, even though it's got a bit of diagonal stuff in it. What we need to do is bring in our paper trimmer. And as you know, I only use this for scoring because I'm too slack to buy more blades when I've got a perfectly good trimmer sitting just under the desk. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm making a mark with my scoring blade at 2 3/4 here. Oh, sorry, you can't see that. Okay, I'll do it to the top. So 2 3/4 mark, and I'm just making the score mark there. Okay, and I've made the same down that end. So we've got a 2 3/4 there and a 2 3/4 down the bottom. Now what we need to do is turn this sideways, and okay, so that's going to fold in like that. So I'll flip this over, and what I'm going to do is mark. I'm going to actually score this top to bottom at 2 inches, because this is a 4-inch piece. We need to score this in half. Flip this over and do exactly the same thing to the other end. So now we have score marks at 2, 4, 8 and 10. And on the 5.5-inch side, we've got a little mark here at 2 3/4, and the same on the other end at 2 3/4. So I'll pop that away and I'll bring my trimmer in. And what I'm going to do is line up that 2 3/4 mark. I know you probably can't see it at all on the screen, but I can only just see it here. But that's what I want. I want to only just see it because I don't want it being obvious. And what I've done is lined this 2-inch mark here in the track, and the actually just off centre that was, the 2 3/4 mark is marked at that end in the track. So we've got a cut there. Now I'm going to line the 2-inch score mark here up with the point down here, and with the Kaiser cutter, it's really good. It's actually got a piece of very fine wire in the track there, so I can see that exactly where my blade is going to cut. So I'm going to do it again. I'm lining the 2 3/4 mark up there in the track and the 2-inch mark down here. Just bring that over slightly. Okay, and cut. Remove that piece, and then the 2-inch mark there, and my little 2 3/4 inch there and cut. So there we go. That's how we end up with the points. Now, hi, I'm back. Sorry about that. My eldest daughter called. She had an hour and a half's drive to an appointment and she wanted somebody to keep her awake while she was driving. So that was me. So while I was on the phone to her, I cut out my butterfly and I stamped and cut out my my daffodil, not daffodil, my daisy for the front, and I did the inside of the card, which is all pretty basic, so you didn't really need me to demonstrate how to stamp that. I did stamp off the petals of the daisy and the centres for the inside, but I did full strength for the outside daisies. Now, as I said, all of the paper sizes can be found on my blog, but I already have them here for this card. Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is pop these two pieces on. Now these two are the full length and they're half the width of the card. Now which way is which, because I wanted the pattern to match and it doesn't look as though it's going to, is it? No, and yet these pieces were cut together. Is that it? I think that, no, that's not it. That's not it. Turn them round. Nope. Nope. I don't know how. Anyway, they're not going to match. So they are going to go on the front there. So they were, that piece was actually cut 4 inches by 5.5, and that's going to go in there as a full panel. So I will bring in, I'm actually using the liquid glue because this paper's not too bad. It's actually quite a thick paper, and I'm not putting it onto Whisper White. It's going onto the Calypso Coral, so it won't stain through, and it allows me to a little wiggle room to make sure that I've got it on straight. Okay, so that's that side done. Now we'll do this side. I'm not taking it all the way to the edge because I don't want it smearing out. But there we go. That's the second piece done and in place. Just slide that down a bit. There we go. Now, if there's any overhang on the back like there is there, we will just trim that off once the glue dries. But for now, that's fine. Okay, the next pieces are these middle pieces, and once again, you'll have to excuse that. I thought it was a scrap of paper, and it wasn't. Okay, so I'll pick that up. Thankfully, you can't see it through this side. And we're just going to slide that into place. This piece, the full piece, was actually cut at 5 by 3.5, I think it was. Yes, I took off 1/2 inch on the side and the length. So, and then just basically did the 1/2 and 1/2 like I did to cut this out. So with that only being 5, I actually marked this at 2.5 inches and then cut it down and down, and then because it was only 3.5, I knew I had to cut it at 1 3/4 in the middle, and that's how we got the perfect size, whoops, for these pieces. And as you can see, they really are the perfect size there. Now unfortunately this has got a gap down the middle. The other one was overlapped and this one's got the gap, but that's okay because we're going to cover part of it up with the flower, and everybody's eyes, or the recipient's eyes, will be on the daisy and on the butterfly, they're really not going to pay attention to the fact there's a gap between the gates on the gatefold. Now, before I put these together, I want to give the petals a nice curl, like so. Bring in a little bit of glue, and then just make sure the petals are alternating like so, and hold it down for a minute until it's nice and adhered like so. Okay, now we will bring in a large dimensional and pop that in the middle of our daisy. And then that is just going to go on the side about there. Now we come in with our mini dimensionals, and I'm going to pop, I've got to take the backing off before I take it off the sheet. We're going to pop this, I'm going to lift the petals here, put one there, and take the backing off again, and pop one there so that we know that is going to stay up. Now, I haven't coated this with the Wink of Stella yet, so I will bring the Wink of Stella in. I'm running out and I don't know where the other one is that I bought. This one is on its last legs as far as the glycerin water that's inside it. You can replace the water with tap water or distilled water, and you will get what's left of the glitter in the barrel coming out with the water. That's why this one actually has tape wrapped around it here, so that I can differentiate between this one and the first one I ever had, which has got water in it. I actually use it for water painting, watercolouring, so that my watercolouring has a bit of glitter in it as well. Okay, I think I'll have to order another one of these since I can't find the other one. Okay, so that's the butterfly, and all I'm doing with the wings is just rolling it over my fingers like so, and then we will flip it over and pop two dimensionals just on the back of it. Take the backing off, and then we're actually going to affix this to the two petals that I put the other dimensionals on, and that way I've popped it up too high here, hang on. Oh no, I've taken the actual petal off. Ah. Okay, I don't know how I managed to do that. One way I will fix it, just a little bit of the liquid glue on the end of the petal and hold it down. I didn't want to put it on too much of the petal because then it'll stick to this side, but no, that's fine. Okay, now on the other one I put pearls, but I'm starting to run low on the pearls, so I'm going to pop some of my rhinestones on the body, and just one little one at the end there, like so. And the last thing that we need to do for this card, I'll bring in a scrap of paper. I keep all of my scraps in a cup here, I'm trying to remember, I think it's Suzanne Nets who put me onto that, just so that I've got them here sitting on my desk when I need them. So thank you for that, Suzanne. Okay, we'll bring in the Old Olive, which is one of the background colours, and my little sentiment, which says thank you, or for your kindness. Supposed to go under the thank you, but I liked it on the outside of this card. So I'm just going to trim like that, and then at the other end I'm going to give it a banner like so. Bring in the mini dimensionals again, one there and one there. Pop that aside. Bring the card back in, and I'm just going to pop that just across there, and that's it. Okay, there's the card we started off with today and the card we've ended up with. Open it up and it's identical inside. I hope you liked today's card, and if you have the dies or the punches, that you'll give it a go yourself. Even if you don't have the new butterfly, which is from our springtime impressions, if you've got the older butterflies, they'll be ideal for this card as well. And I just realised I didn't flip it over and take off the excess, so I'll just open that up a little bit so I don't take the butterfly's wings off while I'm trimming. Oops. So there we go, that's one side, and there we go. So that's both sides trimmed. So I hope you liked today's card, and as I said, give it a go, and I will see you on Sunday. No, this is Sunday. I will see you on Thursday. Have a great week, and bye for now.